Ever thought you'd see a day when Opel would make a car that's desirable? I sure have seen this day, and this day is right now. I'm seeing it right in front of me, guys. The Opel Mokka E. I think Opel has finally made a car that is actually desirable. Hello everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing the Opel Mokka E. This Opel Mokka is electric, so it's very special in that sense, everyone. You are all aware by now of the first generation Mokka. The first generation Opel Mokka was horrible. It was something nobody could appreciate. The only reason it was driven was because of its cheap price tag. However, this Opel Mokka has set a new standard, everyone. This Opel Mokka has marked the birth of something completely different, something new, something revolutionary, something that does not say A to B alone. It's not just an A to B machine, it's something that can be appreciated and probably desirable. This Opel Mokka E starts at a price of 36,000 euros. Is this good value for money or not? We are going to find out in a moment, everyone. Let's get down with this review right away. Rest assured, everyone, this Opel Mokka E is electric. You also get hydraulic struts for your engine bonnet. How premium is that for a crossover SUV like the Opel Mokka? Opel Mokka E. First, I would like to talk about the front styling. I am very impressed with how gorgeous it is, guys. I really like it. Now, it really does boast some identity, because whenever I look at the front of this Opel Mokka E, it reminds me ever so slightly of the Opel Manta. I like how the chrome surrounds the lighting and the grille. So it goes like this around. Makes connections over here, goes like this, all the way over the grill, and then over there. And it's funny I say the word grill, because indeed this is an electric car, so there's no grill, there's no air intake, and it's not necessary for an air intake at this point. However, the front design is very nice. Now, this is the body color, as you know, but this black over here is standard. It's not necessarily the body color on every other car. For example, if this Opel Manta was red, you would see this bonnet would be red, but this would remain black. I really like how it's written Opel within the badge. It's very nice, and I like it how this time it's right there underneath. So that gives it a sort of premium impression. I like how this chrome goes upwards briefly right underneath the badge. Beautiful headlights, and I like how the LED is right underneath the chrome, everyone. So this is your LED lighting. It's air vents over here, which are actual air vents with the purpose. And this is very good, because most manufacturers tend to put fake air vents for aesthetic purposes. This wheel is very nice. I like how it's designed. It pairs surprisingly well with this Opel Mokka E. For some reason, if you look at it from a distance, it makes it look a bit like an off-road vehicle, which is very good. Speaking of off-roading, there is presence of hard plastic over here, and as I've stated before, it's very normal for the crossover SUV segment, and also it saves a lot of money in long terms. And this hard plastic is present underneath over here. Now, you also have to admire the design of this Opel Mokka. I mean, just look at it, guys. You get a straight line over here, and then it stops right there. It blends with the design eventually, and then for the rest of the bodywork, you get this nice round edge design. Over here, you get this Opel styling right here, and this is the kind of design I've noticed amongst many Opel guys. I really like how you have the chrome that goes over the windows. It starts from here, it goes over the windows, and it ends over there, and it looks aesthetically appealing. This is the rear design of this Opel Mokka. It boasts strong identity actually, because this sort of design is something I've been seeing with a lot of Opels lately. I'm talking about the badge being in the middle, and then you have this design of the rear lights. Now that is very interesting. It's not the first time I've seen this, but in this particular form, in this design, it reminds me so much of the Opel Astra. I really admire the fact that it's written Mokka over here in letters. That makes it look very premium. Here's your electric recharge cap. Whilst exploring the exterior of this Opel Mokka, I was actually impressed, guys, but I did also at the same time notice some questionable aspects. The first questionable aspect I want to talk about is right over here, guys. You get this bit of plastic that has no purpose whatsoever. It as if it was intended for extra lighting, and I'm assuming that will be your fog lights. But for a crossover SUV, a small crossover SUV of 35,000 euros, I find this a bit questionable. It's very odd that they have not included it over there. Another questionable aspect to point out is the prominent bit of plastic right here. Now this, like I said, will save you a lot of money, and especially this bit, which is supposed to be a mud flap, which will prevent mud from splashing over the bodyworks. However, the way it's designed makes it look like as if it was an afterthought. Now let's move to the interior of this Opel Mokka E. This long door covers this part of the interior, so it's very good when there's a lot of mud on the bodyworks, but not on this part of the body. This is the interior of the Opel Mokka E, and I have to say I'm actually impressed with the design. Cup holders are right here, and you get micro storage space over there, and the gear selector is actually a little knob right here, so that's very interesting, everyone. You also get driving mode, everyone. Now that sounds very premium. You get a 12-volt socket and a USB connection. All the climate controls are located right here. This is your infotainment system, and this is the button to control it. And I like how you have this piano black trim around it that integrates with the instrument cluster, which is also digital. Now, just take 1 second and admire this beautiful trim right here on the passenger side. The design of this door is very interesting. I've seen this sort of design on other PSA group cars, and that's mainly on Peugeot. I've noticed this design, like on the Peugeot 5008 and 3008. This is the center console storage. A bit average for a crossover of this segment. However, for a price of 36,000 euros, you may think, a bit questionable. Well, let's see if it's really questionable, because look at what you're about to see. Oh yes, everyone, this is the glove box, and it is vast, guys. It is deep and it is very spacious. You also get a decent door bin that will for sure fit a big water bottle in there, because if you notice, there's a gap between this part of the interior and this part as well. I like how for some reason you have a huge air vent right here, but I like also how it tilts towards the driver's side, so poor passenger, they get the small air vent, and me, I get this wonderful air vent over here. Overall, I was very impressed with the interior, guys. I cannot complain so much about it. I like it, I really do. It's very interesting, and it's a massive improvement compared to its previous generation. I really find it interesting. But whilst exploring this interior, I also noticed some pronounced flaws at the same time. And one pronounced flaw I'd like to point out already. You get this piano black trim right here, and also between the infotainment, and it's also very easy for someone to leave fingerprint marks on it, and also dust. The engine hood latch is right there. It's too close to my feet, so it's very easy for someone to pull it open by accident. One last questionable aspect I found about this Opel Mokka E is that for a price of 36,000 euros, you still don't get electric seats for some reason. You still have manual seating adjustment. Now we're going to move to the rear seat of this Opel Mokka E. But before doing so, I would like to point out a flaw I've already noticed upon opening this door. And the flaw I would like to point out is that this edge of the door sticks out very proudly. So this is the rear seat of the Opel Mokka E. I have to say I have limited leg room, which is so and so. Like I still feel comfortable, but it's at a limit. So yeah, not so cozy. Otherwise, I have so much knee room. Like, look at this, guys. That's a lot of knee room. That's very good. And also I feel quite cozy. This seat is rather soft. It's on the soft side. It's not as firm as sitting on a bench. Guys, I have a lot of headroom. Look at this. For some reason, there is no handle over here to hold on to if the ride gets bumpy. No beacon of hope lighting in the middle. No coat hook. Okay, this is very, very questionable, guys. There is absolutely nothing here. There's nothing onto the roof, guys. And now, speaking of upper handles, I've also noticed the same problem on the two front seats, everyone. The driver's seat and the passenger seat. Nobody gets handles up there in case the ride gets bumpy. Now, that is the very first time I've ever seen this in any car, guys. I mean, a car that has no upper handles. I don't know if this is supposed to be questionable or if this is supposed to be intended. The rear seat is comfortable, it's cozy. I cannot complain so much about the comfort level of this seating. It's quite soft. But I have to complain about the equipment list in the back, guys. I mean, it's rather empty if you think about it. Like, for some reason, both seats don't get any rear seat pocket. So that's very, very questionable already. Another very questionable aspect I have to point out is that there is no air vent here, no climate control, and no storage over here, guys. You get this micro storage only to yourself, or you have to share the center console storage with the front seat passengers and driver. Now we're going to talk about the boot space of this Opel Mokka E. But before doing so, I already noticed something a bit confusing about the rear. Initially, I was thinking that this was supposed to be the handle, but I realized that the button to open the rear door is right here. And then from here, you pull it open. So at first it may be confusing for everyone, but you'll get used to it eventually. So this is the boot space of the Opel Mokka E. Now, for a car of this segment, as a crossover SUV, I have to say the boot space is justifiable. Plus, it's also an electric car, so I can imagine why it would have a bit limited space. You get tether points here and a beacon of hope rear light. Now you have to close this rear door by yourself by pulling this, which I find a bit questionable for a price of 36,000 euros, because wouldn't it be better to have a button over there? But that doesn't matter so much. It's not a big deal. However, if you want to close the rear door of this Opel Mokka E, you should always pull by this handle. Here's my conclusion about the Opel Mokka E. I have to say I am absolutely impressed with the big picture. The big picture being that, think about this. A crossover SUV, which is electric, at a price of 36,000 euros is absolutely stunning. It's impressive, everyone. I love it. Is this Opel Mokka E good value for money or not? You know what? I have to say it's in the middle. The positive reason is that majority of its value lies in the electric motor and the electric technology that lies underneath. Now that is amazing. Now, on a negative note, I have to point out that this Opel Mokka E felt under-equipped in some senses. Like, in the interior, there were some things that felt like they were missing, and it was endless hard plastic at some places. And also it had limited practicality solutions at some parts, and also the rear seats were very questionable, and the boot space was average. But you see, for a price of 36,000 euros, one would expect a bit more. You want my opinion of this Opel Mokka E? I have to say I love this Opel Mokka E, guys. I really do. This Opel Mokka E is very interesting. Aesthetically, it's far more appealing and it boasts more identity. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run.